till 8 a.m. today. As we promised, when we're back from that break, we'll be taking on our discussion segment. And our guest for today is Mr. BODE FAMOSE, a social commentator. It's nice to have you again, sir.
Good morning, viewers at home, and good morning here too.
All right. The other time we had you just before the elections, and you were so optimistic about your party winning. So how do you feel now?
Well, we feel good, and we're thanking God.
All right. The topic before us this morning is the call for interim government and political undertones. You know, after the victory of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, there are aggrieved persons and all that. And the DSS recently raised an alarm over some people plotting insurrection and interim government in Nigeria. Why do you think this is coming at this time?
No, thank you. It cannot but come at this time like this because of the way we started the campaigns. Because of, even since the time Asiwaju became the president, I'm talking about the primaries, precisely.
Okay.
If you look at the primaries, you discover that our attempts to stop Asiwaju from becoming the presidential candidate of APC, eventually he became. By that time, we were told that he is your candidate, Emilio Con. That was the concept, Abi. Thereafter, it was thought that, okay, Iwo it is your turn in APC. It is not your turn in Nigeria. You understand me? That was the next phase. At that particular phase, whatever the opportunity the opposition had, they thought they had to work against him, to make him not to win that particular election, was employed. But eventually, by the special grace of Almighty God, and because of the deep hatred, I want to say, the opposition has for the presidential candidate of APC.
Which of the oppositions? We're having at least two major oppositions now.
Well, for me as a person, there are, let's put it this way, the major opposition is PDP.
Okay.
But PDP to me is divided into four in the process of attempting to capture power. So how can somebody power, if that would be the only PDP, it would have been a different kettle of fish. If you look at where, all the other votes that Tinubu did not score, ordinarily, 99% of such votes will have gone to Atiku. The votes will be hard if you look at our history. You understand me? You can safely say that majority of the votes belong to Atiku. Even Kakanso in Kano State. So, if you combine all this together, you will discover that ordinarily, perhaps Atiku have won that particular election. But when they saw somebody coming, somebody said, Emilio Con, he must have, he will look at the history, said, okay, for the past 40 years, he has built bridges across Nigeria, friends, relations, and then from his own life, his life experience, what he did when he was in ExxonMobil, and then even as a senator, then as a governor of the state, and then even as a leader of the region, because he was the one that recovered the mandate in all most states in the southwest when PDP took away the mandate from them after the likes of Bade Farati left. You understand me? Now, the national leader in APC that contested. So somebody who has done that has had that particular focus. Before now, remember that in this country, all the leaders who have ever had, they were brought in by one set of people or the other. We want you here from the days of the military. If they don't want you, there's no way you can get there. The likes of Awolowo, they were not wanted there. The likes of Fabiola was not wanted there. That was why the election was annulled. You understand me? The likes of Obasanjo was wanted there. They went and invited him. You understand me? Obasanjo too brought Jonathan. Just like that, like that. Now somebody now said, Emilio Con, who are you? You understand me? That is the question. That is the problem that we are still facing right now. Because he said Emilio Con. Okay, because it's Emilio Con now, okay. But God now said Emilio Con Loto. You understand me? So that is the situation. So you now expect that they have gotten to the level of the man has not become the president-elect. Between now and May 29, they thought something can still happen. because they are flabbergasted. I want to believe that it's the last kicking horse. I mean, the last kick of a dying horse. That's the way I look at it. It's the last kick of a dying, but at the same time, they are insulting the intelligence of Nigerians. I'm talking about the opposition. That's the way I look at it. They are insulting the intelligence of, because you see, if you know that you have a good case, go to the court. They are now in the courts already. But at the same time, why do you have to now begin to make incendiary statements? Those people should be picked and they should be cautioned.
All right. You've mentioned quite a number of things. You mentioned you kept using the word they installing power of successful government in the past.
Some people in Nigeria, quote and unquote.
So are these cabals the people that makes the opposition? Or
they're part of it. They're part, and either we like it or not in this nation. Before now, some people are the owners of Nigeria.
Some people.
Yes, now. Do not let us hide under one finger. Some people are the owners of Nigeria. And those are the people that will come around. I'm talking about the cabals. They will tell you that, okay, we want you here. You understand me? For you now to now say, because they knew by the antecedents of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that, quote and unquote, is a very stubborn person. We will not listen to the cabals. You understand me? We want to listen to the people and do more for the wish of the people, for them to be able to have better life. So they will not want that kind of person to be there, because it's going to stop so many things in their lives. Like for instance, the moment the masses are enjoying, it's going to affect some people. It's going to affect the old order. You understand me? There is a rent pie, that particular chunk, the resources of Nigeria, more of it will now go to the masses. And when more of it is going to the masses, less will go to the cabals that they have been enjoying over the years. For instance, if we can stop conveniently, you understand, we're talking about this issue of we can find a solution to the oil sector, you understand, by removing subsidy successfully. You understand me? Those people that will feel the brunt most will be the cabals that have been sharing the process over the years, that have been making money. So, but we now see a system, Tinubu is like a cataract in the system. So they will fire at it, and they want to do everything to make sure that it doesn't get there. But unfortunately, it's there already, and the only thing they cannot do is to look for other means, either unconstitutional. Look at that Baba Ahmed, the kind of statement he made on the television. It's wrong.
Okay, so many statements have been made actually that are wrong concerning this. Well, in the history of Nigeria, we've only had one instance of an interim government, and that was the time of Ernest Shonekan, as installed by Babangida, the former military head of state. But is it constitutional? Is it the interim government? Is it supposed to be a kind of transition from one government to the other?
We know the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and there's nothing like interim national government in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As at the time Babangida stepped aside, he said, Shonekan, please come in. You see, this even the military administration that introduced interim government is an aberration. You agree with me? Yeah. And then now they did it as a kind of doctrine of convenience, so to say. And eventually they did it because they knew that another person is coming in shortly. Within 3, 4, less than 6 months, Abacha came in. So can we now say a procedure that is completely unconstitutional, that is against the tenets of democracy worldwide, should now be reintroduced? Where is it in our constitution? You see, we can't place something or nothing. There is no basis for interim national government in our constitution. So if anybody is calling for it, you understand what the person is making incendiary statements should be checked, should be cautioned. The DSL they are doing their work. You understand me? Then, if truly we have voted Asiwaju in, like I saw some people in Abuja recently, they said, "Oh, your mandate we shall stand," because people this time that they voted this man in. Definitely, they supported that. If anybody wants to truncate this particular mandate, look at Ondo State for the very first time. You see, we have never had. Since 1999, we used to have some flashpoints when we were conducting elections. Precisely what SLU talk about Parama 1, Parama 2, and a host of But look at this election, nothing like that. Not a single life was lost in Ekiti, in Ondo, in Osun. You understand? Despite the fact that even Osun is voted against. You understand? Somebody is now coming out to say you should not rubbish that particular mandate because you did not, because they were living in the euphoria of their ability to win. You understand me? That euphoria, they didn't even look at what is outside again. They set up, they say, no, it's not supposed to be. You played on that religious factors, which is not supposed to be, religious issues, ethnic issues. You brought it into politics, which is very, very wrong. And at the end of the day, you still had your way. Well, look at the change look at the number of people that voted in the parties, in all the elections, the presidential candidate, the presidential election, the governorship elections. The figure, the percentage of difference that voted for PDP, APC. When you look at Labour, there's a lot of difference. Their relevance dropped by about 85%. You understand me? The total number of people that voted will be, you understand me, was about 6 million. In the gubernatorial election all over the whole country, the total people that voted Labour Party was less than 800,000. And he had more than 6 million votes during the presidential. So how can somebody like that, such kind of group that lost relevance within 3 weeks, will now say that won the elections? If the elections were to be conducted again, do you think they will make up to that again?
Mr. Bode, if I must say, let's, because for the sake of planning for the future, looking to make headway, it's also important to take a peep at history, and that's what Shade's question has done for us, to talk about what happened, back in 1992. When you take a look at 2023, that's almost over 30 years after.
Yeah.
That debate is also coming up, or that conversation about interim government is also raising its ugly head, sadly. But when you look at the scenario that paved way for the interim government of 1992 and what we're having at this time, do we have similarities? I understand the election or that was supposed to bring in Moshood Abiola was part of what also gave way to the interim government.
It's different, very, very different. That particular government was ab initio unconstitutional in the sense that it is a military administration. One. Number two, because they could do everything by military fiat. I think it was Humphrey Wosu then was in the process of announcing an election. They truncated the process because they knew the winner. It's not done anywhere. It's completely against the constitution of the Federal Republic. There's no basis for it in the constitution. This time around, an election has been conducted. It was not annulled. You understand me? We now have a president-elect. Then Abiola was not made a president-elect. So that is the difference. We have a president-elect that is now in the defense house, that the sitting president will have to consult with him on issues that have to do with the Federal Republic of Nigeria before taking any decision. Even now, although he's silent, but he's a silent president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No, so it's different. Abiola did not have that kind of opportunity. And at the end of the day, even it was because of the truncation of that democratic process that actually ended the Third Republic. You understand me? So the birth of the Fourth Republic that we are was premised on the death of the Third Republic, because by the time it was truncated and the military felt they could do whatever they liked, the likes of some people gathered themselves together, the Chuba Kadigbo and the rest, you understand me, including the likes of Tinubu, they went to trenches and started fighting them. Say, you can't do this to us. It's unconstitutional. The constitution does not say we should do this. And at the end of the day, they fought since that particular up till today. Have this kind of government. That's exactly what's happening.
Mr. FAMOSE, I know over the years, you're an information manager, looking at the role you played in the public service before retirement. And when you look at how this conversation about interim government in 2023 started, part of where you look to was a statement from Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Babalola, just before the election, proposing or recommending that an interim government be put in place, suspension of the election, for us to get things right. And now we're post-election period, and this conversation has confirmed that the DSS says it is real. There are some plots to ensure that this interim government comes to play. When you look at how we've managed information in this regard, from what Babalola said now to the post-election conversation we're also having, have we done well?
No.
Agencies that should really be on top of the game?
No. First and foremost, let us look at it from this particular angle. The agencies of government, for instance, where I came from, where I retired from, National Anti-Corruption Agency, they have given persistent information, enlightenment, and sensitization on the elections. And then the people of Nigeria, the majority of the people, have made a choice in person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Be that as it may, You see, the call for interim national government, even as espoused or being suggested, there is no basis for it in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you can't place something on nothing. If it happened as a failed system before, and a failed situation, and it was because of that even interim government that even heralded this particular First Republic. You can trace it, you understand, because they fought it up since then. Even up to Buhari administration, when Abiola was even given a posthumous award as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Abiola was taken as the best president Nigeria never had. So this time around, we should expect that things like this will rear its ugly head. And it is ugly because it is not in our constitution. Now, remember, like, you know, one thing about Buhari is that, President Muhammad Buhari is that if he says it's going this way, we can't even change his mind. The likes of Garbachev has come out to say that we are going to hand over to the president-elect on May 29. And if he says that, you know, okay, they now gave us evidences. They have started doing, we're talking about drills and the host of other, the preparation is rife for May 29. This for the handover. So when somebody is now talking about interim administration, I want to call them. See, they are insulting the intelligence of Nigerians. The normal process for you to go to court, you are in court already. Why are you now? What is behind it that you don't want that particular election to go? Okay, you are in court. Let the court decide what is going to, whether, like, the court has taken away.
Okay. When you talk about people being in court, yes. For example, in the papers today, we read that the Labour Party has distanced itself, and so many other political parties from the calls for interim government has distanced itself. Other political parties, the IPAC says, those who have been found wanting in that regard should be picked up by security agencies. How do you think the action should be swift? Would you have rather had DSS, make arrest rather than coming out with this statement? Because that's also an issue people have raised. Why should DSS come with a statement? Why not acting on intelligence?
The most important thing is for Nigerians to get it right. Since the majority voted for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the majority should guide their votes. You understand me? That is the way. You understand me?
How else are they going to guide their votes?
To guide their votes. Among the majority, you have the civil society organizations, you have political parties, you have traditional institutions, you have the youths. You understand me? These are groups that are. If you have the market women, you understand me? You have given your votes to a particular person, and by the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they said you are one. You are now in the majority. All over, you can now even see that even many more people, you count the number of votes that Asiwaju had in the north, it's more than what he had in the south. So he had a national appeal, unlike somebody who had just, these local lords. You understand me? So it's not in that situation. You understand me? The people will come and they are coming out. And then when they are coming out, the good people of Nigeria and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, is saying that I'm handing over. Then what do you see? It's like they are sore losers.
Okay.
Sore losers. So they don't want to see it. And is it possible for just that man to say Imiloko and you came around, you removed this? You by your machinations, your association, somebody left the office. You covered so many places, and at the end of the day, you say Imiloko, and you are now there. They will fight against him, and they have fought consistently against him. They have failed. You understand me? This interim is another ploy. Okay. And it has failed ab initio.
Mr. FAMOSE, just as I said, major oppositions have distanced themselves from the plot for an interim government.
That's okay.
So who do you think, which group of people do you think could be behind this, if it is not the opposition, that are trying to plot this, and all the political parties that are grieved, by the outcome of the last election, said they're going to seek legal means to sort things out. So who else do you think could be behind this? And people are actually calling for the DSS to name the plotters. Don't think that's better?
So the people behind it are, I would say again, the owners of Nigeria, quote and unquote, and that the ownership is being taken away from them by the people. That you are not the owners of Nigeria. We, the people of Nigeria, are the owners of Nigeria. You are now experiencing true democracy by the reason of the fact that we have somebody that was popularly voted in by the people. So we are experiencing true democracy. There's a paradigm shift in the act of governance. by the coming in of this, and from what we have seen, let me not forget to commend INEC. They did brilliantly well. You know, when I was in office, between 1999 and 1999 and 2020, I monitored all elections. You understand me? I was in one. There has not been any election in Nigeria that, to me, as a person, there are flaws in the election. That is as credible as this particular election. That is as acceptable. You understand me? That reveals, it shows that our elections will count. The other thing we should remember is that even including Asiwaju himself, you see, all the leaders, the old folk, so to say, you should remember that old generals died in battle, and it has been reflected in this particular election. Within 4 years, I'm sorry, if Asiwaju did not perform, there is a third force now. You understand me? That they know that their votes will count, especially in the youths. They will be ready to push the government out. So why can't we wait? You understand me? All we want is development of Nigeria. That somebody should bring about a sustainable platform for sustainable development of Nigeria. That's exactly what we want. So even if Asiwaju gets there and is not performing, there's a third force that is waiting. So I think the focus of the administration right now will be how to give us that particular platform in such a way that the rent seekers that have been there before, these owners, you understand me, will not have opportunity to do that, and the wealth of this nation will now go to the people, and there will be more rapid and sustainable development in the land. And that is what the owners of Nigeria don't want. I mean, so those are the people that are in charge, that are thinking of interim national government, which is not possible.
Let's use this conversation with part of what the statement of the DSS contained, giving us a pattern of how perhaps the plot is going for that particular interim government, which you said is totally unconstitutional. It says some of these people, the plotters, will be looking to get court judgments to truncate the inauguration of the president-elect. That's one. He also said we're fueling protests across the country. When you put all of this together, now that DSS has reviewed the pattern of how perhaps the plan is going at this time, what must we start doing for the ordinary Nigerian who perhaps I would want to say not informed about what is to come in terms of the plots and how politicians or how people want to go about some of these things? What do they need to know?
To be more informed. To be more informed. If in the past, when you when you elect people into power, they will just leave them and go to school for another 4 years. This time around, our people should be more informed, even from this particular pedestal, that interim national government is an aberration. One. Then apart from that, they should be more informed that you don't just have to go home and sleep, especially the youths. Study this particular government, make constructive criticisms, because it is not even their government, it is the government of the youths. Because what the government right now is trying to do is to create that particular platform that will make one credible youth that will have that kind of national appeal to come and take over. That will be credible, that will be trustworthy, that can lead the nation. You understand me? That is the focus. So if you are not doing that, definitely it's a failure. So if you don't do it, the youth will still come, and then when they come, they don't have the experience. They are going to take the country about 10-20 years back. So we need to create that particular platform for them, and that is what I believe that my principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will do as the head of state of. I'm talking about the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. BODE FAMOSE, for coming on to this show. Mr. BODE FAMOSE has been discussing with us the call for interim government and other political undertones, are currently in the country. I believe next time we'll call on you. You oblige us.
I will, definitely. Thank you very much.
All right, my dear viewer, we'll take this other break, and when we're back, it will be another portion of our discussion. Don't go away.